And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That means it's time for GotBot Goes live. And tonight we have a jam-packed show. We're going to offer some updates to some of the news last week. Then got a little spicy. I'm not going to lie. We're going to talk about information and news and reveals and stuff from the Roundtable this past week and a couple of interesting things. We have a couple of worthwhile notes from some of that like Scream to studio series, and a couple of interesting things there as well. We have some third-party stuff to talk about, and of course, I would be very remiss if I didn't dive into the Cybertron Metroplex Titan class reveal and what I think about that. A lot of people have been giving that thing a lot of flack and a lot of shade, but believe it or not, yours truly, who's usually the biggest grump on the block, I actually support it. And I think that it's all right. But we're going to talk about why that is as we get into things. So, yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Of course, I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, loud of my baby. Ooh. There you go. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know on content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member, baby. Okay, I'm going to just set stuff up. I hope you guys have been having a good week. We're heading into the weekend once again. Of course, the last time we got together, it was before Easter. For anybody who celebrated, I hope it was wonderful for you. It really, really was for us. The entire Easter weekend was wonderful for us. Where we don't get a like a spring break like a lot of places do in March. We actually get an Easter break. So I've actually been off this week, but I've been working hard for you guys. So few more days left before I got to go back to work again. But it's been a really, really tremendous week. At a time when I think everybody really, really needed a break, man. So bear with me just a moment. I'm getting stuff going. Glad you guys are here. Of course, I'm always glad you guys are here. One of my greatest, you're probably not going to believe this, and you're going to say, yeah, okay, you're just saying because we're here now. But honestly, one of my greatest joys of the week is Thursday night and coming here with you guys. Even if I've been having a stressful week, this is one of the things that I look forward to the most. Honestly, through the week. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm not saying that just to say it. It's the honest to God's truth. I really, really do. Hold on. We're almost ready here. Let's just go over here a little bit. Hey, Dragonfly, Ken, happy to see you here. Hey, Brian, Maximal 10. Hey, Albert. Hello, Ken. Ultra Megatronus, happy you're here, bud. Hey, Jay. Ken again saying, let's see, everybody just saying hi at this point. Hey, Caldeo. What? I'd gotten, you got yourself Slug a while ago. I like Slug. Some people were like, I don't like that guy. I'm breaking his frill on his shoulders. And stuff. I don't understand how you're breaking the frill. Be careful with it, I guess, but seems pretty solid to me. I like Slug. I like Grimlock. I think that the studio series Dinobots have been nailing it, to be honest with you. Just got internet back yesterday. I'm glad you got it back, buddy. I am rushing in to get my Legacy Bulkhead review out. Yeah. Yeah, it is a ridiculously fun figure, huh? Let's see as we go down here. You're going to support the Cybertron Metroplex Titan. You feeling okay? I'll explain it in a little bit. Yeah, we have a very interesting unboxing tonight, Waspinator. Funny you say that, because you're not going to believe what happened this week. You're not going to believe what happened. You'll see when we get there. We're not there yet. Support for the giant rototiller. They are always great, Albert. You're right. Even if we get a little hot under the collar, by the end of it, I hope everybody leaves feeling good, I know I do. Even if I get hot under the collar sometimes, we all know I do. By the end of it, man, I always leave feeling good. Honestly, I always go and I enjoy the rest of my Thursday night with Starscream wife and Tessa. It's pretty great. It's pretty great, honestly. I heard about your Facebook getting hacked, Ken. That is real tough, man. Real tough. Hype for Legacy Cybertron Metroplex, which was a big welcome surprise, and I bet you'll be, and you can bet that I'll be saving my money for it. Hey, Teen Toys. As we go down here, I started dusting and cleaning my Transformer shelves. I just do that periodically. I don't actually put time aside for it. I probably should, but I don't. Hey, Prince. Prince Productions. I like it. I like the name, man. Getting paid around 60 per paycheck, so I'll be saving. Yeah, well, if you want it, man, then save up is the best thing I can say, right? Last week I got G1 Blaster. Nice. That's a nice one to get that you don't hear tell of it. Somebody getting a G1 version of that often. I really want to see that Elita 1, although it looks weird. I'm hoping it's good. I think the Elita 1 is very true to her G1, honestly. Very true. It's definitely better than the Netflix one that came out. And I guess it's better than Power of the Primes because it's actually the alt mode that she should be. And it's probably the size that she should be. I love my Power of the Primes Elita 1, but I'm not going to lie. There's something really appealing about this one as well. Metroplex is $40 more than the last Titan. I might pass. We're going to talk about that, Jay. I found it really interesting. I can see why you would. I totally understand it. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, I do, Prince. It's great. First wave of Legacy was like 50% repacks from Kingdom. First wave of Legacy is not here. It's not a part of my life. It's not a part of my world yet. Like, our shelves are still clogged. Maximal 10 can vouch for this. Clogged with Cyberverse. I mean, clogged. Like, Cyberverse does not sell any of it. None of it sells. I don't stop the line. Stop wasting the plastic. Stop wasting the research and development. Stop wasting the cardboard. Stop wasting the paint. Stop wasting the plastic because it doesn't sell. It just sits there and rots. It still has a lot of fossilizers. A couple of blurs kicking around. So much red on the shelves. That doesn't sell either. Still a lot of sweeps. A couple of Retgars kicking around. I think that's about it. No, there's some Tigatrons and some Rhinoxes too. But like, there's still lots of them. I don't know where they're going to put Legacy when it comes in. Not a clue. If everybody needs any of that stuff, like, there's lots of it around. Legacy Leader will be a remake to Minerva. Could be. I could see that. I'd be okay with that, Caldeo. Legacy Elita 1 actually looks really good. Be surprised if it's not a Netflix repack. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised not. Well, it can't be a Netflix repack. We're going to talk about that in a bit. I actually have all of the Legacy figures from Wave 1 except for the Laser Prime. Again, not out where I live, so I don't. I did manage to get Iguanas, who we looked at yesterday. Day before yesterday, Tuesday, we looked at Iguanas. I love him. Honestly, I love him. I love the way that they have opted to update Pretenders. I know it doesn't work for everyone. I get it. I understand it. But I think in the modern era, to keep it cost effective and to pay some sort of homage to those characters, this is a good way of doing it. Because I got to be honest with you. If you were going to give me a character like Iguanas, not a main marketable character, an exceedingly fringe character from the comics, if you're going to offer that with a shell and you're going to try and charge me a leader class price for $80, I'm not in. I'm out. Couldn't be less interested. But, the $20 or whatever that a little core would be, I think works good for these type of fringe characters. That's just me. To each their own. That's just me. I think it works. And I explained in that video why I thought it worked. Barely any Cyberverse Legacy on order. I'm not surprised. If the shelves are still full with everything else, why would they be on order? I'm skeptical of the new Titan figure. My arc had the ratchet joint in the shoulder break. Ugh, that's rough. It just flops there. And other people have had issues with it. Other people have. Mine hasn't yet, but I hear what you're saying. As we go down here, Studio Series Hot Rod. Oh yeah, Studio Series Hot Rod in Walmart. Yeah, he's still kicking around. As we go down here a bit, and I know I'm probably missing some stuff, and I apologize for that. The shell for Pretenders might be sold. It won't be sold separately. They're not going to do that. It needs to transform. It's not going to get sold separately. And again, go back, look at what I said in the Iguanas review. I don't think that would work. It would be too much of an investment. And it almost, if it didn't break, it almost broke Fans Project doing that. I'm glad I got them, but I see how practically it's a difficult thing to do. Minerva will be a Walgreens exclusive. Yeah, maybe. Interesting. I don't know. I did hear something about that as Jay says it, which would be a GameStop exclusive here, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's get into the news. I do have some updates that I want to give from last week's news and some things I want to clear up. And I don't want to be here forever because I am kind of excited about the unboxing. I do want to very much talk about the Roundtable as well as the Titan. So let's do the updates from last week's first. First things first. Last week I reported, and we're going to have a little lesson here now about fact versus rumor and inference, what somebody infers, what somebody thinks that they heard, versus like hope. So, fact, last week I reported that the new Tarantulas, of course, was going to be coming out in the Legacy line. And I do like the colors of it. And I also reported and said it is reusing parts of Black Arachnia, though I did not know which parts. And I was specifically asked, what parts? And I said, I don't know. I just know parts. I didn't care enough because as soon as I heard reusing parts from Black Arachnia, I was out. I don't care if it's one part. I don't care if it's 10 parts. I'm going to grab this. I don't like this. The fact that her legs can only kick that far ahead and she was $35 Canadian is atrocious. This is not good. This is a bad Black Arachnia. The only reason that I still have her is because I don't have another representation of this character and I need her. But I immediately want something better because I don't like this. So telling me that it uses any parts from this immediately puts a sour taste in my mouth because it was one of my worst from last year. I don't know why anybody likes it. I don't get it. So it didn't matter what part or parts it was. I didn't look into it. So I went back after because things got kind of hot. And I went back after and I said, okay, I got to go back to my source. I got to find out what part or parts it is. And of course, now it's been confirmed. And we all know that there's only one part reused. And it's this. But I've had people who said in the comments, you got to issue apologies for getting angry because the new Tarantulas is an all new mold. No, it's not. It has a reused part as I reported. The fact is I reported a reused part or parts. I didn't know what they were. I have since found out that that part is this piece. I don't care, but that's a fact. I was not incorrect. There is a reused part, and now I know the specific part. That's fact. Then inference. The inference that somebody made is that this was a mold reuse or that I was talking about actual pieces of the main body of the character or whatever. I didn't know what it was. Maybe not. But somebody inferred it without me saying it. Then we get to rumor. The rumor I've heard is that it will share engineering with Black Arachnia or share engineering ideas with Black Arachnia, much like Cheetor and Tigatron share engineering. They're not the same, but they do share certain aspects. And the more I look at the Legacy Tarantulas, the more I think, you know what? Like the upper arms look very similar. The way the arms transform is obviously a bit different because the spider looks a bit different. My concern is the hips on that one. You see, here's the thing about Legacy Tarantulas. I love the colors and I love the texture. And I love the head sculpt. And if I just had the original Beast Wars Tarantulas that had like this weird mutant mask, white head thing, I'd be like, that's not quite Tarantulas. If I just had the Transmetals, I might be okay with it, but I might say, but that's not that season 1 Tarantulas. But for me, the Legacy Tarantulas needs to be better than this. This is the 10th anniversary Tarantulas. And guess what? His leg can kick way forward just fine. I love this thing. I love the texture. I love the color. I love this thing. I need to see an improvement in the Legacy one over this. Now, if you don't have the 10th anniversary, here's what I'll say. If you don't have the 10th anniversary, and if you're okay with, taking the chance that it might share some of the transformation scheme. And if you're okay with this being reused, then the Legacy Tarantula is probably definitely worth the get. If you don't have that 10th anniversary and you love this, then I would say that Legacy Tarantula is definitely worth the get for you. Not going to be for me. As soon as I heard a reused part from Black Arachnia, I didn't care what it was. Could have been an elbow joint. I don't care what it was. I don't want it because I don't like the Black Arachnia. So I hope that clears it up. So fact, I reported that it was reusing a part or parts. Fact, it is reusing a part. It just so happens that it's an accessory. Rumor, it shares some of the same engineering. Fan hope that it'll be a really good Tarantulas. Even I hope it's a really good Tarantulas, whether I get it or not. Hope that clears that up because I know there was confusion about it. I also want to offer another update. The 4-pack, the Legacy 4-pack that here in Canada is slated to retail for $114.99. I believe it's $89.99 in the US. I said who I heard was going to be in it. That information has since changed. I've heard that the reuse of the Titans Return Topspin will likely be Saltman, but instead of being part of the 4-pack, he will be part of a 2-pack. I have heard that 2-pack, and this is rumor. This is not fact. This is rumor. I've heard that 2-pack will actually be the Diaclone coloration of Topspin and the Diaclone coloration of Twin Twist. And I guess it's Saltman and Saltman 2 or whatever they are. I do not know that for sure. That's just a rumor that I've heard that those two fantastic molds are going to be released as a 2-pack and that they're going to be colored in their Diaclone colors. I don't know for sure, but I do think it's interesting. And if you don't have those molds, I highly suggest getting them because they, to this day, are still fantastic. But if that's the case, then what does that mean for the 4-pack? Well, the Goldbug is still slated to be in there. As a matter of fact, it looks like the Goldbug, get this, might actually not be the Cliff Jumper mold that the Shattered Glass Goldbug used, but might in fact be the VW Bumblebee version in gold. The only way I could see that, if it's true that Volkswagen only gave that license for that vehicle to be used for Bumblebee, I think the only way that they were able to work around it was by selling Volkswagen on the idea that Goldbug is, in essence, Bumblebee. I hope that's true. Apparently, Parasite will still be in there. Parasite is basically Waspinator done in a different color scheme. I don't know if you remember like the War Raiders or War Raiders or something from a few years ago from BotCon. It's based on one of those apparently. So we have the Parasite and we have the Goldbug apparently with the Bumblebee body. Then everybody's been saying Cybertron Ransack. Incorrect. It looks like it's likely to be a reuse of the Kickback mold as Deluxe Insecticon Ransack, which I'd be okay with as well. And then lastly, and I don't know what this would be, but it looks like a toy accurate deco of the Kingdom Scorponok. So the Kingdom Beast War Scorponok that was colored like the program. It looks like it's going to be a toy accurate version of that in the 4-pack. I don't have a name for it. So very, very interesting changes there as well. I want to thank Jason for hooking me up with some of that information. Real gent. And hopefully he's right. We'll see. What else do we have here? I was going to report this. Actually, I kind of reported it last week. We had a Legacy EV Titan listing here in Canada for $300. We know now that is going to be the Cybertron Metroplex, which in the US is $200. Now in Canada, it's $300. Now there's a couple of sites that have pre-orders up for him at $289 instead of $299. But whether you're talking $289 or $299, it's $300, right? And I would suggest to you that the sites that have him up for $10 cheaper, that will change once he releases, and then he'll be the regular $299. This is just to lock in pre-orders. So we'll talk about him in a little bit, though. Also, another couple of listings that I want to throw out there. Transformers TBC. I don't know what TBC would stand for. Project Trooper 1 for $129.99. Sounds like some sort of a commander class offering. I could be wrong about that. Then we also have Project Trooper 3 for $95.99. Both of these are Canadian dollars, so I don't know what it would be in the US, but TBC Trooper 1, TBC Trooper 3. Dare I hope, at least in the latter case, dare I hope that this be some sort of method of doing, say, Transformers Prime Viacons? Maybe Viacons? Because I don't have any Viacons. I didn't get any from the actual Transformers Prime line. I've never had that mold. I've never held it. I don't know anything about either the car or the jet. Know nothing about it. So if they were to redo Viacons, I would find that very, very interesting. Again, don't take any of that. Like, the listings are what they are, but don't, my hoping that they're Viacons is just a hope, right? So yeah, Project Trooper 1, 129, Project Trooper 3, 95.99. Or they could be crossovers. A lot of times with these project names, they end up being crossovers. Like Project Trooper, I could honestly see that being that his tank Megatron, for example. Project Trooper 3, I don't know, something else G.I. Joe-ish. I've heard that there's probably a no, that wasn't, I was going to say a hound that's going to be something, but I'm wrong about that because that's a third-party hound. So it could be like those projects, something often end up being crossovers. We'll see. We'll see. We also had a listing for MPM Gen Vegas for $244.99 Canadian. We know now that MPM is Blackout. I've heard that's going to be $157 US, so $244 Canadian sounds about right. I'm going to mark that stuff off. We also saw this week from Shockwave Labs, SL120, and it's basically a flatbed trailer that can connect to your huffer or your pipes, or Road Ranger or puffer if you want. It's a bit expensive. I mean, you're looking at, I don't know, $30-$35 US, I think. Do you want a flatbed trailer for huffer bad enough? It looks neat, but I just don't know why you would need it. Huffer never had that. Pipes never had it. But if you want it, Shockwave Labs kind of got you covered. I think that's already up for sale. Also, last week I was talking about the Galvatron and the Rodimus that were coming out from Unimetal. And I said, hey, man, I remember when Optimus was done that way, and Megatron and Ultra Magnus. I'm so wrong. All this time, nobody's ever corrected me. I've been calling it Unimetal. It's not. It's Ultimetal. Like Ultimate, Ultimetal. I get it now. I can't believe I was saying it wrong the whole time, and I don't know why I was, but I was. So I wanted to clear that out. I'm going to check in with you guys. Then we're going to talk about Blackout, and we're going to talk about the Titan Metroplex. We're going to do that next, I think. Yeah, we'll do that next. Let's just go back and see what you guys are saying here. I got to go up here a little bit. I'm not sure how far up I got to go, but again, guys, if I'm missing stuff, like, I apologize. I'm just trying to, get through it, right? We need Inferno, not an exclusive. Agreed, we do. Definitely getting Tarantulas, so am I. I don't mind Jay. Jay gets everything. I don't mind Jay. Jay gets everything. Tarantulas was my favorite reveal from Wave 2. Was mine too, until I heard reuse something from Black Arachnia. That ruined it for me, honestly. Now that I know what the part is, I mean, I have a little more hope. But honestly, I want to see the articulation. I want to see that he can do a full kick forward before I would consider getting rid of my 10th anniversary. I'm not going to say I'm not going to get him, but I really, really want to make sure that there's no limitations to the range of motion for what he's going to cost. Because here now, that's going to be hitting on two $20 bills. Like, we're hitting on $40 or so taxes in, right? It's not. We're not joking around anymore. It's not going to pick everything up because it's only $12, $13, right? You got to start thinking, right? Hey, Marcus. I actually like Knockout the most because I love the Jazz mold. I got the Jazz mold twice now. I don't need it a third time, and I don't need a stylized Knockout. I was excited about it, but I think I'm just going to stick with my Beast Hunters. But if you love the mold, like, I can't argue you getting it. I think The Knockout might be the most successful so far of the prime revisionings, because I do look at it and think it's not quite his body, but there's a lot of paint here. There's definitely a lot of love here. I do like the vehicle mode. It's definitely Knockout. It's just I don't think it's the Knockout for me, but it's definitely Knockout. Decent head sculpt too. $14.99 in Canada, $18.99 in the US, correct? Then you must be lucky if that's true. I don't know what prices you're referring to, Caldeo. Are you talking about core class? And I'm sorry, I'm just not sure what you're referring to. I think the Lambo Bros Sideswipe and Sunstreaker could have been Earthrise 2-pack. They probably could have been an Earthrise 2-pack. You're right. Legacy has restocked a couple times in your area, and I've only seen Kickback and Drag Strip once. I'm glad I didn't pass them up. You guys are getting restock, and we literally haven't had nothing yet. That's a lie. We had one case of core class come into Toys R Us. That was it that I know of. And I've been actually looking this week where I've been off. I've actually been on the hunt. Went on the hunt today, and there was nothing. Jump starters from Titan's Return are a pain. It's hard to are a pain to find. Yeah, they're probably a pain to find now, 5 years later. My son was bad, so I took back Waspinator. He's pretty good, but I never had the previous release. I got Thrilling 30 Goldbug. That's one of those that I wish I got now is the Thrilling 30 Goldbug. I have that mold for my Nightbeat, and I turned it into a Headmaster long time ago. And I like that mold, to be honest with you. I kind of wish I had the Goldbug now, but such is life. I don't. As we go down here. Own Thrilling 30's Goldbug. Let's see. Hey, T-Fan page 101. Project Trooper, Viacon, Auto Trooper. It could be. Oh, I never thought of Auto Troopers. Could be Auto Troopers. That'd be cool. I don't think it's a combiner. I hope that Goldbug is the VW. Yeah, I hope it is too. Actually, I've got plenty of car versions and the jet vehicle. Yeah, I don't have any. We all got molds. I'm sure that sounds like a top 10. What's a mold you've missed out on, right? But that's one for me. I've never had it. I've never had it. I've never even seen it. I don't even know exactly how big it is. Like, I've never seen it. I've never held it. I've only seen pictures online. Starship Troopers. Don't laugh, T-Fan page. I'm telling you, buddy, it could be Starship Troopers. That would be a weird one, but it could be. All the Project Trooper could be G.I. Joe related. Yeah, I'm Ronis. There's a part of me that thinks you might be right. I'm just trying to be hopeful. Would be nice if Twin Twist will be a 2-pack. Might put it in my price point. But have a second cheap Titans top spin coming to make my own custom Twin Twist. Fair enough. Interesting way to do it. And I bet the Troopers will be the Yellow Hoist and Blue Trailbreaker. Ooh, could be. Wouldn't be the first time. I'd like a tiny trailer for Huffer. Well, then, if you'd like a trailer for Huffer, then Shockwave Labs SL-120, I think it is, or SL-20. They always put a 1 there. I don't know why. But look it up. If worse comes to worse and you can't find it, Brian, let me know, and I'll send you the link that I had. And again, guys, if I'm missing stuff, I apologize. I really do. That definitely jumped down there. Flatbed wouldn't be bad. I just don't know if I want to spend, I think it was $43 Canadian. I don't know if I want to spend $43 Canadian on it. I would see the trailer upgrade mostly for Road Ranger. Yeah, I guess it would be okay for Road Ranger, wouldn't it, Keldeo? I guess if of all of them, that's the one it would probably make the most sense for. Hey, Lance. A while back, the ER trailer broke in half. Ooh, while the top doors were open and became a flatbed. Huh. Wow. I would still love a Metroplex to come with a giant key, not for a gimmick, but to come with the significant golden one from the show. Could have had it like the discs in the Ark. I agree. They could have. It didn't need to be functional. Just need to be there. I think the reason we might not get mini cons is the poor success of the Micromasters. I agree. Though they did say that we might get drill bit as a core class. Maybe that's not really a mini con though, right? But you know what? Like I got the core hot rod or Rodimus or whatever it was to go with my Star Convoy. I could see a core class working with this Metroplex, much like Scamper came with the original Metroplex. I don't think he should have been priced out. I think for what they're asking, what they're charging, I'm pretty sure he could have been included, but okay. I want Legacy Knockout, then get Legacy Knockout. The Knockout does look really good, but they impressed me with him. The thing with the Knockout is his chest is too high for me, right? I want his chest to be more angled down. That's what kind of does it for me with Knockout. How much is the Metroplex? 200 US, 300 Canadian. I want Knockout because I missed out on Earthrise Runabout. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what one has to do with the other, but whatever. I'd like Knockout to repaint into Rapido. Oh, see? Look what you done. Look what you done. Now I want him as Rapido. Good job. Oh, man. Look what you did. What do I think of Bulkhead being a possible pre-tool for someone and who? I held up Bulkhead next to my Gen Starscream and the Minicom ports are identical. I don't know who it would be. I would assume somebody from Unicron Trilogy, but like, I don't know Unicron Trilogy well enough. I don't like the series, so it's not for me. I absolutely think it's intended for somebody else. I just don't know who that would be. Somebody who knows Unicron Trilogy better than me might be able to figure it out. Dragonfly, but I really don't know. Fillers for Wreckar, leg fillers. Yeah, there's fillers out for Wreckar stuff, I'm pretty sure. I sadly don't think the 4-pack. I'm just reporting what I heard. Take it for what you will. I want Starship Troopers. As we go down here. Rapido is from G2. Look him up. You'll see he was part of a group. Yeah, but it is Spanish for rapid, but that's look up Rapido. You'll see. Look him up. Okay, so first things first, MPM Blackout. Like I love the Studio Series Blackout, and I just saw Grindor on sale here for $40 Canadian. That mold's tremendous. So, what about this $244 MPM? It looks tremendous. It is definitely bigger. Much bigger than the Studio Series. And I thought the Studio Series was pretty darn big, to be honest with you. This one is definitely bigger. His arms definitely are better engineered with more articulation. At the very least, his arms. His legs look to be more articulated as well. The Scorponok looks great. The helicopter mode looks great. Here's the thing. I think that Blackout is a character that kind of has a cult following because his scene was focused on so much. He was like that first Transformer that we saw live action. He has like a place in the hearts of many fans for that reason. Enough that I even went and got the Studio Series one, and I love it. I've advised other people to get it and or the Grindor. I don't need both myself. But if you're a big fan of the films, do it. I am a bit shocked that this is like significantly cheaper, say, than MP44, when I feel like there's probably a lot more gone into this guy. I really feel like everything I've seen kind of blows me away with it. He comes with blast effects, which is different. It's strange, but I'm not hating the concept. Do I think the price is good? Naturally, I think it's overpriced because I'm not a masterpiece guy. But I feel like I can understand this price better than I can with some of the more marketable characters. Like, I don't understand why the Bumblebee sold for what it was, that MP45, that was trash. I don't understand why MP44 was like $650 Canadian or whatever he was, or 600 Canadian. I don't get that at all. But I kind of understand the Blackout being what he is. I get it. It's too rich for me. I'm fine with the Studio Series one, but I understand it for anybody who's in for that MPM line. And the size is there. I gotta believe that the size is there. I gotta believe the engineering is there. I gotta believe the articulation is there. I'm impressed with the Blackout. And truth is, while I'm not a masterpiece guy, the MPMs have been like hit or miss. Some I've really detested, like that Volkswagen Bug B, but some I've really liked, like Barricade was really tremendous. So it varies. I even like the Megatron. I thought Megatron was pretty great, honestly. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Blackout. I think he's impressive. Impressive. If you're on the fence about it and you think you might be in for it, I think good on you. Now, let's talk about Titan, Cybertron, Metroplex. I saw it announced, and my first thought was, going with something from Unicron Trilogy, something not G1. Makes sense because the G1 well for what would sensibly make sense for a Titan is pretty much run dry. No, combiners of Titans don't make sense. I mean, I got the Devastator at the time because I didn't know when or how I'd ever get another Devastator to match. And while I've been awfully tempted at many times to get the KO that's the size of the other Combiner Wars combiners, I didn't because I'd already invested the 109, and that's what he was when I bought him, 109 Canadian. He was on sale. I'd already invested that in the actual Titan, so I got him, and I would always justify it by saying, hey, he's gigantic construction vehicles. Otherwise, no, combiners at that size make no sense. They're not the same size as Omega Supreme or Metroplex or any of that. You don't have to look any further than the Sunbow chart to see evidence that they're not that big. So them as Titans makes no sense. Them as Combiner War size and about the size of Jetfire is an approximation. They're a bit bigger than Jetfire, but it's about the closest approximation we're going to get, which brings us to Menasor. I've been reporting for a long time that what was said to me was that he was going to be 18 inches tall. However, I think it's pretty obvious that that information that was reported to me was bad information. For the record, the source that reported that information to me, I've since taken out of my rotation of sources because obviously I can't trust what they say. I have since heard through some inquiry that the new Menasor will be about 11.5 to 12 inches, which would actually fall in line with the Combiner Wars lads. I've also heard that Menasor can have the Combiner Wars lads attached to the legs, but it's not sturdy. We'll talk about that in a bit, but not the arms. Anyway, I digress. We're talking about Cybertron Metroplex. So I saw this and I thought, okay, so I could see why they wouldn't do the G1 well. This is a good idea. This is a good idea for anyone who is a Unicron Trilogy fan. Here's the thing. A lot of people, when I first saw it, I felt very happy. Not for me, but I had an epiphany and I realized, you know what? We're a fandom and we're a community. Not all of this has to be for me. I'm really, really happy that fans of the Unicron Trilogy are finally getting a chance to get stoked, to get excited, to get jacked about something. Because I know back in 2014 actually, because it was a little after market. I didn't get it in store at the time for $134 or at Costco for $89. Starscream White found them for $90. But I know that when I got my Metroplex and I took them out and I looked at them, I was awe-inspired. I was blown away. I love them. Some people said, the Generations Metroplex is trash. No, he's not. If you're saying that, then you don't have him. He's magnificent. He's always been magnificent. He's always going to be magnificent. And you know what the proof is? The proof is that now, pretty much a decade later, he is the one guy I have. The one. And I have hundreds. He's the one I have that I never, ever get sick of. That I never, ever think that, oh, he was a mistake. Ever. Never. He is bar none my favorite. Not because he's the absolute best, but because of what he made me feel, that excitement, that awe-inspired once-in-a-lifetime feeling. And I really, really hope that fans of the Unicron Trilogy that know that Metroplex from the giant planet or gigantic planet or whatever it's called have that same feeling and are awe-inspired by this guy. That's what I expected. I was happy for them. Here's the thing. Everybody in this community always talks about themselves and what they want and what I want and what I want and what I want and what I don't want, what I don't want, and what I don't want. But I really realized, you know what? I don't have to want everything. I can be happy for other people in this fandom that do want it. And then I started to see the hate. First, I saw a bunch of people say, that's not Metroplex. He's garbage, blah, 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 blah. It's not the Metroplex for you. And as soon as I would inquire a bit deeper, they'd say, yeah, he doesn't turn into a city or a base. He's not going to be part of Autobot City. I've been a fan since 1984. Yes, you have. So have I. This isn't the Metroplex for us. We're not the target here. We're not the target demographic. G1ers, if you want to call us that, are not the demographic for this Titan. You know who is? Young kids. And more importantly, Unicron Trilogy fans who have been clamoring for years. Why don't we get a chance? Why don't we? Now you're getting your chance. I hope you support it so that they do more Unicron Trilogy Titans for you, not for me. I'm tightened out. I'm done. But for you, because you deserve it as fans of this franchise too. And then I saw some people say, well, I have the original. This is just an upsized version of that. No. How long have you been in this fandom? They never just do an upsized version. It is a completely new mold. It has a ton of ratchets. It's 22 inches tall. It turns into a Bagger 288, or is that what it's called? Bagger? I think it's Bagger 288. It is an actual piece of equipment that is used in mining, which ties in with this because the whole reason that he was selected, the whole reason for his existence is because in Legacy, the gimmick is that they're using Energon for their weapons. And who's mining all of that Energon? Metroplex. Cybertron Metroplex is the one that's mining all of that Energon. Do I think it's overpriced? Yes, obviously I think it's overpriced, but I've been saying since 2019 that Transformers are ridiculously, idiotically overpriced and that Hasbro is taking advantage of fans. And everybody keeps arguing with me and saying, no, they're a wonderful company and they have to do all of this. No, they don't. That's bull. What they need to do is cut out salary or bonuses, corporate bonuses for all of the top tier guys. What they have to do is they got to look at the lines that they have and they got to stop making all of this gimmick junk and streamline and only make the main stuff that actually sells. Because guess what? With the prices you're charging, you don't need to worry about keeping shelf space. There's always going to be something on the shelves. You don't need the junk on there just in case. You need to look at streamlining your process internally. That might mean job cuts. I hate to say it, but it might mean job cuts. And you got to go to your investors and you got to say, look, if we want to keep our customers and keep our business viable, you're going to have a few quarters where you're not going to get a dividend payout, where the profits are not going to be higher than they were the quarter before, because we're in a global economic recovery and you're going to have to take some losses for a little while, short-term pain, if you want the long-term gain of higher dividends. If you're always chasing higher profits every quarter, then those prices are going to go up. If your only business strategy is to raise prices, you're going to alienate customers. And then one of two things happens. Either a business goes under, or they say that franchise is no longer selling. We're going to put that on the shelf. And then Transformers goes on the shelf, buried away for probably 10 years. And then we'll wonder, why aren't we getting any more Transformers? Well, because we beat the franchise into oblivion. As far as investors go, they don't care. Most of them are faceless corporations anyway, rather than individual people. Some are individual people. But anybody who owns any significant shares are a faceless corporation. And guess what? When the money dries up and they're not getting their big dividends, they're just going to sell their stock shares and they're going to buy stock shares somewhere else, because they don't care if you get your laser Optimus. They don't care if I get my throttle bots. They don't care that we're fans. They care about this, and that's it. And the minute that's not what they want, that's when they sell. And then who's left suffering? The fans. Why do I say that? I say that because I've seen a lot of hate for this Metroplex, this Cybertron Metroplex, from a lot of people that claim to be passionate fans. And all of it has been around selfish greed. Why don't you just be happy for somebody else in the fandom, for a different segment of our population, and encourage them to support this if they want more? If you're a Unicron Trilogy fan and you've been asking for the last 5 years, please do something other than G1. Please do something other than G1. I don't like Beast Wars. Please do something other than G1. They're giving you a chance now. They're giving you a chance right now with the upcoming Starscream. They're giving you a chance right now with, pardon me, with this Titan class. If you want more Unicron Trilogy, if that's where your bread and butter is, support it, please. And tell your friends that are on the fence, if you want more of this, support it. I'm not getting it. I'm not buying it personally because it does not fit in my collection. I'm a G1 guy. I got zero interest in it. But I support its existence, and I support fans that want to get it. And I'm very happy for them. And I really sincerely hope that the joy I get from my Titans, they get from this, because they absolutely deserve it. And there's a lot here to like. That's my take on that Metroplex. I know that that was a lot, but I felt like I really learned something about our fandom and about how I view our fandom. And I hope now that I've explained all of that, that maybe you understand why I get so defensive when it comes to pricing and price increases and stuff, because I'm not thinking about just me and buying it or not buying it, or I'll wait until I'm priced out. I'm looking at our entire fan community, all of us. We're all interconnected wherever we live in the world, and we're all fans, and we all want the best for this franchise, I hope. And sometimes the best for this franchise doesn't mean it's the best for us individually, personally. I don't want people priced out. I don't want our fandom shrinking. I don't want certain countries having to scrape, for the things that they want because of bad distribution or bad pricing. I don't want investors to lose profits because they are not following creative business practices. I don't want our franchise to go on the shelf. That's things I don't want. If you think like me and you don't want that for the greater fandom, then think about how what you do, just like I think about what I do, affects all of us as a community, as a fandom. I support this. It's not for me personally. It doesn't have to be for me personally, but I absolutely support it. And I do think that with all the ratchets and with the size and with the heft he has, that he's going to be impressive. I really do think he's going to be impressive for those who want him. And I hope they do a core drill bit to go with him. I don't even like minicons, but I hope they do a core drill bit to go with him, because he should be included anyway. That's my big take on that. Oh, by the way, no Cyber Planet key. That's unfortunate. I agree with T-Fan page Brian. I agree with him. Big key should have been included, much like a golden disc. I know that was a lot. I hope that you guys understand where I'm coming from. Let's run down through the news, then we'll check with you guys, and then we'll do the roundtable thoughts. I feel like that was deep. I feel like that was really deep. Speaking of legacy, I said it's not in my neck of the woods yet. However, the deluxes have been released in Canada, just not here, as has the vintage Beast Wars Scorponok. Again, not here, but it has been released in Canada, so hopefully it'll show up soon. Just because it's released in Canada means nothing. There have been things released in Ontario that never, ever show up here, so we'll see. The Micro Machines Bumblebee playset is out in the US. That's the car that opens up into the Micro Machines playset. Comes with a barricade. Mechanic Toy and Firefly is doing an 18 centimeter non-transforming Optimus Prime. He has LEDs and die cast and a bunch of interchangeable armor pieces. It's another one of these like high-end non-transforming figure statue things that looks really cool. I don't know how many of them they can keep doing, but they're doing it. Very quick Rise of the Beast news. We have buzzworthy Energon 2-pack, Energon Escape 2-pack. It's more gimmick junk. It's like those Energon Igniters from the last night. Limited articulation. You got that core thing that's supposed to spark up, make them go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is a poorly painted Bumblebee that doesn't seem to have any knees, though he has elbows, and an atrocious looking junk Optimus. Again, you want to talk about not having to charge $200 US for that Titan? You shouldn't have wasted not 1 ounce of resources, money, not an hour of an employee's work on making that garbage for Rise of the Beast. That's not going to sell and only going to end up going on clearance. What junk and garbage. What a waste of time, effort, money. A waste of plastic, a waste of paint, a waste of cardboard. We're going to talk about cardboard. A waste of development, a waste of employee hours. Simple as that. Didn't need it. Don't need this gimmick junk. And before anybody says, yeah, sometimes I like the gimmick stuff. You know as well as I do, even if you like it, sometimes I've liked some of it. You know as well as I do that that's the stuff that rots on the shelf. The mainline stuff is the stuff that sells like hotcakes, and this other gimmick stuff is the stuff that stays on the shelf. I'm sorry, but we're at a point, and like I said, during an economic recovery, when really you got to kind of tighten the belt strap a little bit, I think that this is something that didn't need to exist. Speaking of things from Rise of the Beast that doesn't need to exist, Power Alliance. Apparently they're shipping out whatever Power Alliance is. Some people said that they're weaponizers. I'm not really sure how they're weaponizers, but I guess we'll see. If it looks like that garbage little Tigatron that turned into whatever he turned into, leave it. That's junk. One Step, again, more junk. Power Battlers, again, more junk. There's a whole bunch of Rise of the Beast whole bunch of resources, shipping containers, boxes, all the junk. All of it could have been cost saving. The whole lot of it. Wait until you're going to do the main line, Rise of the Beast stuff in Studio Series, which they said they're going to be doing next year. So then what's all this garbage coming out now? Because every time we've seen pictures of it, it all looks like junk. It all looks like what a waste of money and time and effort that was. We wouldn't have the prices we have now if we didn't wait, or if the company didn't waste money on that. If I was an investor, I would be really angry that they're still wasting money on all of this. Really angry. But you know what? Investors don't know about toys, and they don't know what kids want. They don't know what collectors want. They don't care. They only care about this. Remember? That's my take. I'm not impressed with anything from Rise of the Beast so far. I'm not getting any of it so far. If you are, good luck to you. And it's not me having a hate on it. It's just people always ask me, like, they're like, the cost of business has gone up. What else do you want them to do? This is what I want them to do. Trim the fat, man. Downsize your company a bit. That's what you got to do to survive. I mean, and I say this as somebody who had two uncles who ran a warehouse. Sometimes they had to tighten their belt straps. I say this as somebody whose grandparents had a store that they ran. And guess what? Sometimes what they took as their salary from the store was next to nothing because the business came first. That's even like some business owners I know now are saying, like, I've had to put my prices up. But then I'll see that same business owner who will go out and buy literally everything from every line. So you haven't reduced your personal income. All you've done is pass that on to customers. To me, I don't like that. That's not good business in my books. To me, that's, again, greedy business, right? Sometimes you got to look at yourself as the business owner and say, you know what? I've been taking out a salary of $50,000. Maybe I got to take out a salary of $35,000 because I can't support another $50,000, without putting up prices, and my customers aren't going to pay those prices. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, reaches a breaking point, baby. G1 production. This was really cool. G1 production coordinator and writer Paul Davids is going to be at TFCon Toronto. Very different person to have. We get a lot of like the voice actors and sometimes a director or something, but like a production coordinator. So interesting. I'd love to hear like the questions that get asked of him and exactly what the production coordinator done in G1. Kang Toys or Chung Toys showed off their the wolf feet. I don't know what they're calling that for their Predaking. And they showed off the Razor Claw. Their Razor Claw is gorgeous. The yellow is all this metallic spiky gold. When I first saw the art, I was like, man, a lot of spikes. I don't think he's going to be real articulated. But he is. He's gorgeous. He's beautiful. I'm really, really blown away by it, honestly. Exosuit Spike out in the US. I actually want him. I wish I had an Exosuit Spike. But he's out in the US. The G1 Bible put up online some 18 new character bios, and it's so interesting to read. You see the character there, and then you see the bio. They're great to read. This one was all from season 2, so you had characters like Blaster and Beachcomber, like Cosmos, like who else? Powerglide, right? You had Trax was another one. Go read it. Omega Supreme, like go read it. It's very, very interesting. We had a behind the scenes about Blur and the Hot Rod, and the dude talked about how Blur and Hot Rod were made with 2 types of plastic, and the PA plastic is the more durable plastic, but it's also unpaintable, and sadly, that's why Hot Rod has the like yellow hinges on his knee and the yellow up around his shoulders and the gray in his elbows, and that's why the tops of the thrusters on Blur couldn't be painted because this is unpaintable. Oh, do you see this? Oh, look at the top of his thrusters. They're painted just fine and clear coated just fine. Yes, you can paint this plastic. That's nonsense to say you can't. You can't use your spray process that you like to use, but yes, you can paint that. There was no need for the joints to be incorrect on Hot Rod. That's a lie. There's no need that there was paint missed up here. That's also a lie. You coming on and saying that's unpaintable is a lie. Anybody who believes it is a fool. It's really that simple. I read that and made me angry because that's simply saying you couldn't be bothered to do it. That's all that's really saying in a nice roundabout way. Stuff like that makes me angry when right there. I mean, where's the proof that you can do it? Dude, right there. Look at the top of the thrusters, painted, fine. And I've transformed him a number of times. And guess what? They haven't scraped at all. Not even once, not even a little bit. Yes, you can paint it. That's nonsense. I don't believe it. Simple as that. If you do, cool. I don't. 3-0 showed off a bunch of upcoming things. So apparently they're going to be doing a bunch of Rise of the Beast stuff in their premium line. I'm going to say this. If you want some Rise of the Beast offerings, get the 3-0 stuff when it comes out. All this other gimmick garbage that's coming out from Hasbro, don't get any of that because that's junk and garbage and a waste of time and money. Get the 3-0 stuff because it's gorgeous. Might not transform, but it is awe-inspiringly gorgeous. The M Deluxes, which are a step down from the premium, but still pretty high end. There's going to be a G1 Megatron and Starscream and Rodimus. We saw like a teaser image of the Megatron and the Rodimus. They look great, look pretty tremendous. And then their deluxe line, which I think are about 5 or 6 inches, if I'm not mistaken. And it's the way that's been marketed is that it's a high-end figure for a reasonable price. And it is a reasonable price. And coming out there, we have Revenge of the Fallen, Megatron. We have Bumblebee movie, RC. I think she's going to be beautiful. We've seen some images of her, and she looks gorgeous. Dark of the Moon, Shockwave. That's going to be another really popular one. He looks real good as well. And the Rise of the Beast, Age of Extinction, Lockdown. They're going to be doing some Rise of the Beast stuff too. But Age of Extinction, Lockdown. 3-0 does, what they do is special. What they do is very, 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 very special. I'm going to check in with you guys. Then we're going to do the roundtable. And then we'll do trivia and the unboxing. And it was wild what happened this week on the unboxing. Kind of wild, kind of surprised, humbled, happy, but kind of surprised. Let's go up here and see. And I know you guys have been talking, and I know I've missed some stuff, man. And I know I got deep there for a little bit, but I really do try, believe it or not, I really do try to take a stance of thinking, I guess it's socially minded. I don't know, of thinking about what's best, not for me, but what's best for the fandom. I don't know if I do justice to it, but man, that's what I try. That's what I try to do. Let's see here. Let's see. Viacons. I'm going to try and be as quick as I can here, guys. I prefer Cybertron Metroplex over G1 Metroplex. In my opinion, because the Cybertron Metroplex, because you can do a lot more with him. See, there you go. Like Keldeo is in for the Cybertron Metroplex. And you know what, Keldeo? While it's not for me and I prefer the G1, guess what? I absolutely respect that you prefer this Cybertron one. I hope you find a way to get it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you are as blown away and love him as much as I love my Generations one. I really, really do. Get the Gatling gun. I'd like to see a Space 1999 Eagle Transformer. That'd be interesting, Terry. Trailer seems cool, but I'm way more worried about getting Legacy Drag Strip. That's fair. I was tempted to get Runabout, painted him purple as a Viacon. Oh, you could have. So we go down here a bit. Hey, Devlin. I don't know if I already said hi or not. I would like a Windbreaker too. Yeah, Windbreaker would be great. All of them. Do the whole quartet. I think I reviewed that some time ago. Like I think the accelerators, right? I think I reviewed them a while ago, man. Knockout looks wonky. Yeah, I appreciate what they're trying to do too. MPM Blackout looks all right. A lot of people bash on it, but I think it looks all right. It does. It looks very true to the on-screen representation. Where's Grinder on sale? Walmart. Some on clearance at Walmart. $40. Chopperbot for me. Unicron Trilogy evac. There you go. See, there's another one. Like, I don't need a Unicron Trilogy evac, but I hope that Marcus gets it because he wants one. Suicide Blackout's one of the best figures of the line. I agree, Jay. I just looked up Rapido. Right? It absolutely works, right? New Devastator looks awesome. I wonder if they're going to do all the combiners. I think you mean the new Menasor looks awesome. I don't need the combiners done. I have all of the Titans Return. I'm good. I'm good on combiners. See, you're saying about 13 inches. I've heard 11 and a half, actually. I was saying 12, but I've actually heard 11 and a half. The only Titan that makes any possible sense to continue the Titan price would be a faithful G1 Metroplex. I found with the War for Cybertron game Metroplex, but many missed out. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Razor Bear. I wouldn't get another Metroplex. I'm good with the one I got. But I hear you. What? Got Destron Designs 3D printed GI Jetfire armor on. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. I've never heard of that, but it sounds interesting. I got the original Cybertron Metroplex, and I'm so happy with it. There you go. Does it have the Cyber Planet keys? No, it doesn't. The new one does not have the Cyber Planet keys, unless you're asking him about the original. I assume his original does have Cyber Planet keys. Gigatron, thank you. I couldn't remember what it was called. Or is it Gigatron? Gigantian? I don't even know. See, this is what I mean. Like, I own this stuff. I've watched it, and like literally none of it sticks with me. That's how much of a non-fan of Unicron Trilogy I am. And I'm not trying to be offensive. If you are, cool. It's just none of it sticks with me. I know it's Giant Planet. Bucket Wheel Excavator. Yeah, it's a Bagger 288. Look it up. It's an actual thing that's used for mining. I basically want them to do everything so that it's out there and people get something they want. I vote GotBot as Hasbro manager. I would do things a lot differently, and I would do a lot more of trying to be fair to the fans, because here's the thing: without consumers, I don't care how much you're trying to please investors. If you ain't got customers, you're not going to be pleasing anybody. Stop the package refreshes. That could also be a thing. Metroplex or not, the next Titan is going to be 300 anyways. Wait on Amazon, maybe 250. I would still have CRID 2001. I agree with that too, Maximal 10. I'm waiting to find out how much Metroplex will cost in the UK. Let me know, Brian, when you find that out. Metroplex looks cool, and I agree that the fans of the Unicron Trilogy deserve a great figure. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Shansi. Happy birthday to Terry, by the way. That's been around for many, many years. It just hadn't been obvious. As we go down here, but hey, Big M, I don't know if I said hi to you or not. Yeah, my man. And I know I'm skipping stuff here now. JRX is not. JRX is nice, Marcus. I agree. I had a chance to review that. Thanks to Maximal 10, actually. Package refreshes. I'm just seeing kind of what you guys are saying here now, so just give me a second. The artwork is usually really good. I love it. Hey, Slow DK. Haven't found any legacy in your area. I feel you, man. I feel you. The Studio Series BB movie figures are amazing. They are. I mean, again, and there's another example. Like Prince just said, the Studio Series Bumblebee movie figures are amazing. They're not for me. I don't need them. I have a Ratchet. I have a Brawn. I have an Ironhide. I have RC, all of them that I'm happy with from G1. I don't need these ones, but they look stupendous, and I'm happy that Prince is happy, because honestly, I look at these representations and I think to myself, based on everything I've seen, they have great paint, they have great transformations, they have excellent articulation. They're an excellent line. If you're in for Prince, like, I can't blame you. Great line. Again, I would say overpriced, at least here in Canada, but great. Sorry, Brian had to go. Hope somebody lets him know that it was Walmart where I saw the grinder on sale. Cybertron Defense Hotshot or Scatter Shot. They could do that too. Bring back ball joints. GotBot for Hasbro manager. Listen, I don't have a problem with ball joints as long as they're formed right and there's good QC around it. Hey, Ash. New Metroplex has nothing extra to entice non-fan of Cybertron into buying it at the higher price. No, but I don't think it's there to entice a non-fan of Cybertron. It's there for the Cybertron fan. I got news for you. There was nothing that was going to be on Fort Max or Scorponok that was going to entice a Unicron Trilogy fan to buy a G1 version of that, because it's not their bag. It's not their thing. They would look at that Scorponok and be like, yeah, that's cool. I have no tie to the character. Why am I spending that kind of money on it? Nuts to that. But they might be in for this Metroplex, because again, not everything is for everyone. It's just different strokes for different folks, right? Cybertron Metroplex looks cool, but my next Titan is going to be Studio Pumpkin. I hear you. Listen, man. Listen. Right there, baby. Right there. I love that guy. Metroplex $184.99 in the UK. I think Legacy will focus on Unicron Trilogy Titans for this wave. Probably. And that's cool too. That's fine. In the Bumblebee Blu-ray, there's a motion comic with Brawn on Earth going against Soundwave and even Elizabeth. Cool. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Gabriel, but I'm going to hide that, I think. Oh, Jason, look at that. It was just a little while ago. I gave you a shout out for giving me some information about that 4-pack, buddy. Look at that. I don't know if mine is still sold out. Honestly, Brian, I mean, I can certainly check it for you if you'd like. Think Outside the Spark. Hey, I like it. Let me know, Brian, if you'd like for me to check on it for you, and I'll have a look. I don't know if it's still there. I mean, $40. It might not be, but I'm happy to look for you. Okay, so I'm actually going to do the trivia. And while you guys are giving the answers, I'm going to talk about the roundtable. And then all we got to do is the unboxing and get out of here. I know Starscream Wife is over there watching on her computer quietly. So I don't want to take up any more time than I got to. Let's see. So the trivia. What children's host? I like this. What children's host in the 1980s slammed Transformers because it did not educate kids? Was it A, Captain Kangaroo, Bob, what's his name? Keeshan? Keeshan. Captain Kangaroo. Is he the one who said it? Is it B, Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers? Is it C, LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow? Or was it D, Bob Bell from The Bozo Show? So who said Transformers is worthless because they don't teach kids nothing? Was it Captain Kangaroo? Was it Mr. Rogers? Was it Reading Rainbow? Or was it The Bozo Show? A, B, C, or D? A, B, C, or D? Let's go up here just a little bit. Go down here a little bit. No problem, buddy. Why not talk price from Europe, Gabriel? There's people here from Europe. Like, there's people here from all over the world, man. Now, I'm going to talk about the roundtable, and I do see answers coming in there. We'll see in a little bit. So the roundtable, first things first, are there going to be sublines in Legacy? And they said no. And then my thought was, wait. I know that you said some Legacy may appear in, say, the Buzzworthy line or Selects, but they're not the main line Legacy. But that's not what I was talking about. As soon as he said no sublines in Legacy, my thought was, isn't Walmart having the Velocitron subline that's part of Legacy? Isn't that like a confirmed thing? So are they having sublines, or is everything that's supposed to be this Velocitron just mainline? I found the answer to that one very confusing based on previous information that's already been said that Walmart is going to have a Velocitron line. We'll see what happens there. Metasaur box set? Maybe. They've done it in the past. What else do we have? Oh, I like this. The yellowing issue. And I talked about it a while ago here with the G2 Sandstorm that some people, I think it was Trans-Aaron, and like his whole elbow and lower arm had turned. Now, apparently it's the PA plastic that was used. And all they said was they know of the issue. It's been like sent on to, I guess, engineering or whatever. And they said, well, there were no QC checks because you couldn't travel to Asia over the last couple of years. So they're admitting that their QC has pretty much been non-existent, even though they've been putting out these products. So you pretty much have no QC. Normally, they are checked for UV light. So that just wasn't done. And apparently they changed vendors. So basically what they're doing is passing the buck and not taking the blame, again, because they're an irresponsible company, and saying, well, we put all this out. We don't know if it was any good. And if it's yellowing, well, it's too bad because we changed stuff. But we didn't bother to tell customers that. We just sold it anyways if it's fine. I'm going to tell you now, I and many more, 20,000 more, backed that god-awful HasLab thing that has a lot of white. If that yellows on me, it's going to be real, real bad. If that yellow's on a lot of people, that's going to be real bad. Hasbro, you best, before you charge people that kind of money for something that your channel has, like, you best know what you're doing. And right now, I don't believe you do. I don't believe in Hasbro's competency anymore. That's where we're to. And you're saying right there, like you're saying right there, we didn't do QC checks. We didn't check for UV protection. And they have a lot of upcoming characters that have a lot of white on them, not just that Star Saber. What about people who buy that Titan? That Metroplex has a lot of white. What if that turns? What about the upcoming G-Axis, who has a lot of white? You better fix your issues, Hasbro. And I would say you have a very serious one if you're not doing QC checks. Why would you hire people over there to do QC checks? You've got some issues that you need to work out. Serious issues, as far as I'm concerned, with mismanagement. Personally, anybody who had anything to do with that, if I was the manager, I'd have them all fired. You no longer have a job here. You're done, because you're obviously incompetent and can't do this. And I'd hire somebody else who can. What else do we have here? Oh, apparently Amazon owns like the majority of cardboard like in the world. And, you know, all the sense that a place like Hasbro has to say is, well, shipping costs are going up because the packaging and the cardboard's gone up. Why are you accepting it? Find a different way of doing things. Why are you even accepting that? Because I got news for you. Amazon has been making money hand over fist, and you're agreeing to pay these up prices for cardboard. In the meantime, what's Bezos doing? Saying, you know what? I'm going to make a spaceship that looks like my junk. That's what he did. That's how much money that fool has. That he said, I'm going to make a spaceship that looks like my junk and take William Shatner up to space. And you're telling me that it's reasonable that he's charging what he charges for cardboard? I don't think so. Don't think so. That's a problem. Cybertron Metroplex. He's an Energon miner. I love it. I agree with it. Legacy pre-orders have been doing well. We'll see what happens as more and more come out and feed out, and what the feeling about the Legacy line is. I can't say much to it yet, but the pre-orders are good. Why was the Netflix Soundwave not the one released? Why the Siege? I said last week that I had heard through my sources that the reason that the Netflix Soundwave wasn't being used was because it's still under contract to Walmart and cannot be reissued. That's been confirmed. It can't. That is a Walmart exclusive. Could they do another run for Walmart? They could, or you can wait for the exclusivity contract to run out. That's happened before. Look at the Coneheads. They had a wider release way later after the exclusivity with, I think it was Target, ran out. Same with Red Wing. He had a wider release later because the exclusivity contract ran out. You want like a Netflix Soundwave and a Netflix Bumblebee, you got to either advocate for a re-release through Walmart, and Walmart would have to be convinced to order another run, or you got to wait for the exclusivity contract to be up, and then maybe we'll get a wider release then. That's where you're to. That's how business works. Because guess what? Neither Walmart nor Hasbro nor any of their investors care if you get a Netflix version in your hands. None of them care. They've already made their money. So it's up to you as a fan to advocate for that. They said the price increases, they're likely to continue, and that going forward, the price of a deluxe will be $24.99 US. I got news for you. They shouldn't be $24.99 Canadian. They should be $19.99 Canadian. They should be $15.99 US. That's where we're to. Anything more, we're all overpaying for. Because, and before anybody says, well, the cost of business has gone up, dude, it ain't gone up that much. Not if you're running your business competently, and not if you're making the hard decisions and making the cuts that you got to make, which they're not. People have been complaining about the heads being taken off of offerings. They said that the packaging without the plastic tested well with kids. Unfortunately, there's a lot of scalpers and scammers out there who, from what I have heard, are stealing the heads, and then they're going back and buying the headless figure at a reduced price because, well, I'm buying this thing headless, and then they're going home, popping the head on, and selling it on the aftermarket for 2 to 3 times the amount. Fully intact. That's what I've heard is happening. So what is Hasbro's answer? Oh, now we're going to put just everything in a windowless box. That's a problem too, because I've seen a lot of these Laser Prime boxes that when people open them have anything but a Laser Prime in there. My favorite was the one that had a bottle of Pepsi, and I can't remember what was in the other part. Like where the trailer should be was a bottle of Pepsi, and I don't remember what was. It was actually a bottle of Diet Pepsi, and I don't remember what was in where the actual prime should be. It was like chips or cheesies or something. I mean, I'd be livid. I would be livid, but that's what people are doing because your prices are too high. People want it, so what are they doing? They're stealing it. Is what they're doing, and then they're leaving the box there, windowless. Nobody knows. So I don't think that that's the answer, even though they said we're not going to go back to plastic. That's because you have many corporate investors that are green companies that are forcing your hand to be green. So you can't go back because then those investors will pull out. You see how all this is connected and kind of screwing fans over in the end? You know what I mean? This Combiner Wars legs can go on. Apparently, it's not sturdy. They're going to say that anyway because they want you to buy all of the Stunticons, but I'm sure that the legs are just fine. I bet you they're just fine. We'll see when the time comes and people review that guy. Let's see. More weapons packs? Maybe. You know, there was a question there about Pulse. I would venture to say to you that I agree with Vangelis. Pulse is run by a couple of like interns. It's not really set up. They can't offer factory direct pricing because all of their retail partners have probably pressured them and said, don't undersell us. And they also tend to do stuff later because the retailers got to get it first. Look, Pulse shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be a thing. Hasbro is a producer. Keep your nose at a retail. There's another cost saving. Don't even be into that retail sector. It's not your lane. You should have been staying in your lane. Any resources that go there, any costs associated with that, all that should be caught, no longer exist. See all these cost-cutting measures I'm coming up with? There's lots of them, man. Shattered Glass is going to do a new 5-part story. That irks me because when the first Shattered Glass story came out, I reviewed it and I said, sure, this doesn't even end. What a disappointment this story is. What a waste of time, effort. You should have said from the very beginning that this is going to be a full story with a full beginning, middle, and end. That's not what you did. You said, we're going to put out these 5 episodes. We can call that good if we got to, if this doesn't sell well. And now you're doing another 5. It's, again, slimy business. Thank God IDW is losing the license because they're not a very good company either. That being said, fun fact, the skull head of the Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus was the last thing, apparently, that Warden designed before he left and went over to Power Rangers. So this has been in the pipeline for a while, right? Or at least the Shattered Glass Magnus has. It's a Warden creation. They kept it. So interesting. Let's see. Somebody asked if the Galaxy Force upgrade Optimus Prime can hold the Metroplex big thing. And they said, we don't know. How do you not know? You're the guys who make this. How do you not know that? Like, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, how incompetent are you? This is your product. How do you not know this, man? Like, come on, baby. And they were asked about Transmetals, and they wondered for fans what they would think about not doing like the VAC metallicized chrome, but just a metallic look because the chrome tends to chip off. I'd be cool with a metallic look. Like, you want to give me like a new depth charge and Rampage, for example, and you want to give them a metallic paint job? I think I might be into it. If it's done well, I could be into it. We'll see. All right, let's check in with you guys, and then we're going to do the unboxing and get out of here. Man, this was a long one again this week, and I didn't think it was going to be. Let's see here. And you hear me saying a lot of stuff quickly because I'm trying to get through at somewhat of a timely manner, right? Let's see here. C, A. Oh, hold on. We have, let's see. Bozo gave Transformers as prizes. I'd say Mr. Rogers, A or D, but D seems a bit more likely. I think it was A. I don't know the answer to the trivia now, but I had to look it up. So I'm going, don't you say it. It is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is A, Captain Kangaroo. First what? Gabriel says that he will buy Legacy Titan Metroplex, my first non-Titan combiner. He's not a combiner. I'm confused by your comment, Gabriel. Amazon owns the majority of cardboard in the world, but can't be bothered to ship Legacy. That's the other thing. Like, if they own the majority of cardboard, like, you're putting things in a mailer. Like, Somebody got to hold Bezo accountable. I'm just saying, man. Let's see. There's a reason I don't buy anything from Amazon. That's true. And Shatner's a national treasure. He is national treasure. That's true. I don't know if he's a U.S. citizen. Spock's a national treasure too. International treasure. What? It's like saying I'm a Hufflepuff. You know, I'm not gonna lie. We did this thing online, and my wife said it was like, "What Harry Potter like group or whatever are you?" And she was like, "I'm definitely Slytherin," and she done it. And she was Slytherin. I was like, "What am I?" She's like, "You're like Hufflepuff," and we done it. And sure enough, I was Hufflepuff. Let's see. Picard series is phenomenal. Yes, it is. So much for anti-theft box. I'm with you there, Caldillo. No, the one I saw one that was a joke picture that I think actually had Mountain Dew in it. But the one that I saw, I don't think was a joke picture. The mention of gender for a decision was very interesting too. Ash, thanks for bringing that up. I forgot about that. I personally don't have an issue with female bots. As long as they're doing them in good quality, I'm cool with it. And there's some bots who really need to be redone. And like, I'm just saying, like, there's some female bots who really need to be redone. I hate this thing. I really do. I don't like it at all. I get no joy from it. I don't know why people like it so much, man. Shoehorn another release of RC. No, not RC. Although they did say that there's certain ones who got to be there because the marketing team comes and says, "Hey, give us an Optimus, give us a Megatron." And sometimes they lie and they're like, "We got a Megatron. It's the Beast Wars one. We got a Megatron. It's the G2. Here's Optimus. It's Laser Optimus." Like, there's ways around it, but there's certain marketable characters that keep getting re-released because they're marketable. Oh, Bumblebee. You're gonna bless you, Starscream wife. Bless you. As we go down here a bit, I will buy Legacy Metroplex, like design, and I will put together with 86 Dinobot and Legacy Menace. Oh, you're gonna get the Legacy Menasor. Okay, I got you. Thank God it wasn't LeVar. That's fair. I think Caps Lock is on. Yeah, no, he always has capitals. I don't know. Gabriel's got a lot of energy in his life. Okay, so let's do the unboxing. You're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. So the first thing, first I gotta give a huge shout out here to both Ultra Megatronus and Waspinator because all of this came from those two gens. And I'm gonna lay that there. Very first thing, I was not planning to get this. I had no interest in getting it. I was happy with what I had. But now I have Kingdom Waspinator. We are going to do the review for this guy next week, where I'm going to compare him in both modes to the Thrilling 30. We'll see if he's as good as what everybody says. There are things here that I like. There are definitely things here that I don't like. I will give credit where credit is due for especially the knee bend and the waist. But we'll talk about the rest of it next week. I was not going to buy this. I did not expect to have it, but you know what? We got the guy. We'll see how it goes. We'll see which one stays in my collection. Then, also, and I'm glad I got this because I have a funny feeling if it comes to Canada, and that's a big if, I'm feeling it will come to Toys R Us. And if the lift ticket is any indication, then this thing will probably retail for $42.99 to $44.99 Canadian, which is highway robbery for buzzworthy Autobot Silver Streak. I predict if this guy comes to Toys R Us, he'll be $42 to $44.99, which is insane for what is really the essentially this is the barricade / smokescreen mold, but with the blue streak prowl head. And it is kind of beautiful. Mine had a silver paint blemish, but it was easy for me to fix. I like this mold. A lot of people don't. I have it a bunch of times. We'll look at this next week as well in comparison with the other uses of this mold and see what I think of this one and how it stands out. I really wish that I'd known that we were going to have white shoulder things and a white blaster here, because those would have went real nice with smokescreen before I repainted smokescreen. So far, Waspinator and Waspinator and Silver Streak. Then I had, hold on here. Then I had Arrive. Again, another character that I've often said that I don't like the look of. I was not planning on getting it. And I've heard people say, no, it's really good. You got to. And I'm like, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. And people have been like, no, man, it's great. You have to get Legacy Bulkhead. But that's not the best of it. In fact, you guys think that I need Legacy Bulkhead so bad that I got 2 Legacy Bulkheads. I did not know this was happening. I got 2 of these guys. I'm going to find out what to do with them for sure. You know me, I am absolutely always appreciative of the things that come my way. This guy's going to be reviewed tomorrow and compared to this guy who has been my stand-in for Bulkhead, the Last Night Hound. He's always been my stand-in for Bulkhead, and now I got this guy. I'm not even going to say what I think about it. We're going to save it all until tomorrow. Wild. Didn't I tell you guys it was going to be wild? Giveaway? Maybe that could be in the pipeline. We'll see. I'm starting to like Bulkhead. 2 of them, I was somehow afraid something like that would happen. Listen, I've always managed to find, if I don't have it myself, I'm obviously, there's another collector in the house. I got to give him first crack. Obviously, I got to give him first crack if he wants a Bulkhead, right? Before I come up with anything else, right? I like a strong arm. As a female, I'd like the RID 2015 strong arm. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, whoo, baby, that's it. We've been here a long time. It was a lot to digest. I hope I've explained how I think that we are all very important to the fandom. I appreciate all of you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us. Everybody say thank you to Starscream Wife for being extremely patient. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference, whether you know it or not. Tomorrow we're going to look at Bulkhead, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way, baby, inside the videos.